Levels is good. Salute, salute. Let's go.
Yeah.
Never a dull moment in the Knicks verse. Okay, we got live on Facebook, we live on YouTube, live on TikTok, Twitter, X. All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this trade deadline day. Another edition of KnicksFanTV Live, presented by KnicksFanTV.com. Head over to KFTV.com to get your watch party tickets for the Knicks versus Pistons game in New York City, as well as your KFTV merch. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why we do what we do, because just in a span of about 5 minutes, the Knicks got good news, and then the Knicks got bad news. We are going to talk about it right now, man. Knicks traded for Jose Alvarado in another blockbuster trade, and at the same time getting much-needed insurance because we got some bad news on Miles McBride as well. Lock in, hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get right to it, man. Let's get right to it. Man, oh man. All right, so, last night as the Knicks versus Nuggets game wrapped up, we talked about the acquisition of Dalen Terry in exchange for Guerschon Yabusele's contract. The goal here was not to keep Dalen Terry in the system. The goal was to reroute him, and the most likely destination was Jose Alvarado to the Knicks. We had heard about that. Shout out to my guy, Ian Begley. He let us know early last night after the game that the Knicks are still in on Jose Alvarado, so that was my signal to say they're going to try to go get him. So the Terry for Guerschon Yabusele, that was a chess move for the Knicks to not have to part with draft capital to get rid of Guerschon Yabusele. And we just heard that the Bulls intend to sign him. So the Knicks were able to find a willing buyer, a willing participant to take Guerschon Yabusele, who valued him, and the Knicks didn't have to part with the draft capital. So then they take the Dalen Terry expiring contract, they send that to New Orleans, and they bring Grand Theft Alvarado home. Now, what does this acquisition mean for the Knicks? Well, right now, ladies and gentlemen, it means a lot. Because while a lot of you guys, and I understood the apprehension, we don't need another undersized guard and all of that, I get that wholeheartedly. I get that. However, what we just heard just now on the heels of this Alvarado deal is that the Deuce is down. Man down. Deuce McBride could miss the rest of the regular season with a core muscle injury that requires surgery. Remember, during the whichever game it was this week, I broke on Twitter that the Deuce injury was more than just soreness to his ankle. There was something deeper there. I had gotten word that he was going to see multiple opinions and that this was more than just soreness. So I was bracing up for potential bad news, and it was announced today that Deuce is going to need surgery and could miss the rest of the regular season. So we don't even know if he's going to come back for the playoffs. That is a major, major loss if he can't. So with Alvarado, I mean, forget the fact, a lot of you guys thought, well, Alvarado's going to bury Kolek. Nah, you're going to need everybody right now. You're going to need Alvarado. You're going to need Kolek. And thank God for Landry Shamet right now. Let's hope he stays healthy, because the way that he's shooting the three right now and defending, that is going to give the Knicks much needed insurance and depth if they can't get Deuce back. So you kind of see, man, like you just never know. This is why you need insurance and depth. Jose Alvarado, he's averaging 7.9 points per game right now on 3 assists. 36% shooting from 3 right now, and almost 1 steal per game is Jose Alvarado. So you know his game, you know his claim to fame, if you will. Not trying to rhyme like Clyde, but you know his game. He's going to be a scrapper, pick up 94 feet. He's going to be a pest. They call him Grand Theft Alvarado. He's getting in the passing lanes. And best believe leaving New Orleans to come home to New York. The Brooklyn kid coming home. You better believe it. He's going to light MSG up on fire. So I'm looking forward to that acquisition. The Knicks needed some more ball handling. And I just feel like they needed to get scrappy, get tough. as you head into the playoffs. They're going to see Detroit on Friday. They're going to see Boston on Sunday. Two teams that are going to also be equally as tough, physical, and scrappy with the Knicks. So, this is not a deal to blow you away, but just as we see here with the Knicks injury woes here to Deuce, you need some insurance of any sort. And look, I've been saying this all for the entire season. The Knicks were not necessarily in a position of strength when you think about the assets that they had to deal with. So the fact that they were able to find a willing buyer participant that valued Gershon Yabusele without having to attach a pick, to me was a win. He wasn't working out here. They sunk $5+ million into him, and it was a complete disaster. And then you reroute that Dalen Terry contract to New Orleans, which is what I thought was going to go down once I signed off last night. And you go get Alvarado. The Missi thing, according to Ian Begley, and Common Sense will tell you, he's 21 years old, a good young center. I think it's going to cost the Knicks a little bit more. And speaking of Ian Begley, we will be live at 2:45 right here on KnicksFanTV. We're going to do a simulcast with SNY Knicks Trade Deadline Central. It'll be myself and Ian Begley on the ones and twos, so make sure you guys return after that. So I'll be here for a rapid fire show. Then I got to go throw the half suit on, get the wave spinning, and then get back for 2:45 for the trade deadline show. So that is the news of the day. We're not even 12 hours. We're not even 24 hours from the Knicks' big double overtime victory over the Denver Nuggets. Then Yabusele gets routed. And then the Alvarado deal. Insane. Salute Amar on the TikTok. Let me salute some super chats that have come in. Salute to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D. Throw a hashtag PE in the chat to salute our legend. He says GTA Grand Theft Alvarado brings back a dosage. What was left with Dante. Deuce's surgery is a bummer because of his familiarity defense. Now one of our clutch guys, man. I feel terrible for Deuce. I'll play the clip. I'll find the clip, man, when we talked to Deuce just last summer about, every year, unfortunately, with Deuce, he takes a step forward and then he takes 2 steps back due to injury. And you can't help it. You get injured. He's a guy that plays with force. He plays like a football player out there. So, unfortunately for Deuce, he's out again. Last year it was groin, hamstring. This year it was ankle. Now a core muscle. That's tough, man. And again, when you think about Deuce, you think about a guy who is trying to get paid. I mean, Deuce gave the Knicks a super deal with that $3 million a year. Deuce should be up to 15. He should be making 5 times that. So when you think about how tough this business can be, man, for a young kid who's trying to solidify his future, you're not going to be an NBA player forever. It's another setback, unfortunately, man. It's another setback. So hopefully he smooth guitar, muscles heal quickly, and he's young. You hope so. And that he can come back and be strong for this team in the playoffs. But he was trending so well. That's the thing. He had so much momentum going for him. Now you got to do the surgery, recover, rehab, and then get your wheels back. So it's tough. What else you guys thinking in the chat? Call me up on the KFTV Discord if you like. We'll chop it up. I'll get your thoughts on it. Grand Theft Alvarado coming home. Yeah, Grand Theft Alvarado coming home, man. I like the move. I like the pickup. Get a scrapper, get physical, get tough, fearless, and he's going to want to show out at the Garden. The Brooklyn kid is going to want to show out. How would he fit in the rotation with us being guard heavy? Well, you're down Deuce. Clarkson could be hit or miss here, but Clarkson might still be getting minutes as a shooting guard. And look, it's between Alvarado and Kolek. He probably will take some of Kolek's minutes. But that's another thing. I didn't think that the Knicks would necessarily be confident with Tyler as their backup point guard for the playoffs. I like the fact that he's getting the experience. It's much needed. It's been a mixed bag against better teams and better defenses. I do like the fact that he's getting that experience. But for the playoffs, you need someone you can trust a little bit more. So I think that's why you bring in Alvarado. That's why you bring him in. Let me salute some more super chats here. We got an Australian super chat. Okay, we see the Discord starting to pile up. We got an Australian super chat from Matt Trigger 8. $5 Australian super chat. Says, how much of this trade is a reaction to the McBride news? I mean, we love Jose. Just what was the point of signing Clarkson in the offseason? Well, you know, you're thinking about things that happened in various stages and at various stages of need for the Knicks. For example, going into the offseason, they needed scoring depth for the bench. Campaign, he wasn't coming back. Forget about it. Delon Wright, forget about it. They didn't have anything. They had Shamet. They brought Shamet back. And thinking about where they were in terms of their cap sheet, their assets, you had to get lucky. The Knicks were very fortunate that Jordan Clarkson was bought out by the Utah Jazz so that they could afford to pick him up with the veteran's minimum contract. So you got a scorer, a shot creator, a six-man of the year type of guy, already won it, leading the NBA in points off the bench over, I think it was like the last 3 years. It was a good pickup. Still is to me. I like the pickup. And when you don't have much options, they got lucky there. And Brian Solomon on the TikTok, hey, you might need him for the playoffs. You just never know. So the Clarkson thing I was fine with. Totally fine with. Now, we had been hearing throughout the year that the Knicks had interest in Alvarado. And so, remember, they brought in Malcolm Brogdon also to take over that backup point guard spot. Malcolm Brogdon abruptly retires. You go through the season, Tyler has some high highs, he's got some low lows. Clarkson high highs, low lows. NBA Cup was their time, and in other games, it wasn't so much. That 2-9 stretch, that last 11, you kind of saw some chinks in the armor. So I don't necessarily think the McBride injury pushed them to this. I think they were leaning towards this, regardless, to have that depth in the backcourt. But appreciate the super chat, Matt. Shout out to Swavey, $5 super chat. Okay, he says, let's go. Let's go. All right, I'm seeing a lot of Puerto Rican flags in the chat. VMR in the TikTok says that first Alvarado steal on the baseline is going to shake the city. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Look, the Garden, he's the type of guy that the Garden rallies around and loves. Blue collar, energy, emotion, doesn't take his position for granted. That's the type of guy that you want. You want a guy that's going to get in the trenches with you and fight. Especially when you go up against Detroit. I told you, Detroit, they got a whole thing going on in their locker room where they got this whole club. I think Jalen Duren started it, where it's like you got to be a quote-unquote dog just to be in the club. And in other words, you got to go out there and show that you belong. Get scrappy. Knicks need that. So I like it. It's a low-cost deal. It didn't cost you much. Anything that they got back for Yabusele would have been up from here. It was so you were stooping so low. The standard was set so low by Yabusele. Yeah, D-Rock and on the TikTok says we needed a dog. Salute to everybody on the TikTok. Salute to Facebook. See what the Facebook saying. Nene Hawkins. He's from Brooklyn. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Hector Vasquez. Salute on the Facebook side. My Fanchise channel members. Salute. And if you're on the YouTube side, you already know, man. If you are part of the 100,000 subscribers, I'm looking for my plaque here. I didn't even have a chance to get it up there. If you are part of the 100K crew, throw a 100 in the chat, and I'll shout you guys out. Let me see some more super chats. I'm watching the clock because I got to go live at 2:45. Live with Ian Begley. We're going to still be here on KnicksFanTV. It's just going to be a simulcast with me and Ian and SNY. So I got to, probably take a break at like, say, 2:15. Take a break, sip some water, get changed, take a breather, and come get back to it. Because we was up late last night. We was on for 2 hours last night. Knicks versus Nuggets double overtime. That was on the second night of a back-to-back. I did another show yesterday. So for my aspiring content creators out there, this ain't for the faint of heart. This ain't a cupcake league, as my guy, the late, great Corey Homicide Williams would say, man. Rest in peace to Homicide. You guys in Australia, New Zealand would be familiar with Corey, man. We lost him way too soon. Bronx legend. Mr. Knicks 101, $5 super chat. Says, remember when those guards were hounding Brunson in the playoffs, like the Pacers? Alvarado and Deuce can bring that. Hopefully Deuce comes back strong. Yeah, if you guys are just now coming in, we're kind of breaking good news with the acquisition of Jose Alvarado by the Knicks. At the same time, thinking about how his acquisition is right on time, because we got bad news that Deuce McBride could miss the rest of the regular season after he undergoes surgery on a core muscle. So tough setback by Miles McBride, man. Speedy recovery for Deuce as well. Seeing a lot of hundreds in the chat. Jet Life, salute. Bron Van Dam, salute to you. We got Coach Rubens, okay. FDB 007. Sandman. B-Balls Academy, salute. Randy Johnson. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. We're going to get to some calls as well, just circling through the super chats. Oh, my guy, RGT. If you guys are gamers, check out my guy, RGT85. He does fantastic work. Shout out my guy, RGT says, you think we do anything on the buyout market? I believe we save money now by getting rid of BBL Selly for GTA, right? Let me check on that, because as of last night, they did. My guy, Yossi, had broken it down that they were able to now sign a vet in March rather than April. They were able to sign a vet to the 15th man roster spot. So let me cycle through Yossi's takes here on the Alvarado trade. Yossi's been doing some great work. Make sure you guys follow him. He's been doing some excellent work. So he says Alvarado will be looped into the Yabusele trade. Okay. He says they can sign a 15th player immediately. Okay, so that changes things. Shout out to RGT. According to Yossi, the Knicks can sign a 15th player immediately. They got 7 second-round picks remaining. Alvarado, $4.5 million player option for 26-27. He also mentions if Alvarado picks that up, that will give the Knicks some flexibility as it relates to constructing a team under that second apron. Remember, they're mindful of that. Just looking at, they gain $1 million in apron space and can sign a 15th player now. There we go. So you watch the buyout market. Let's say a center or wing gets bought out. They can go get him. And remember, they can only go get him if that player, if their previous contract was less than the mid-level exception. So they got to be making less on their previous deal. That buyout candidate has to be making less than about, say about 12 to $13 million. They got to be under that. They have to be under that part. So I think that's how they will get that 15th guy if he is available. Got the rhyme animal, Chuck D. Dr. D. Roy Bramwell says, hated playing against the man. I hope we can get the same energy back. The NBA is on notice. Jose is back home. Electric. Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. Going to be fun. It's going to take me a while to get over the loss of Deuce. But Alvarado should allow the Knicks to get that energy up for sure. Shout out to John Alteray, $5 super chat. He says, happy about Alvarado coming back to NYC, bringing that grit. Still hoping we can pull off something to get Yves Missi with Dadier and Trey Jemison. Well, according to Ian, it's going to cost you quite a bit, and there were some teams that were interested in Yves Missi. Let me take a look at his contract. He should still be on a rookie deal, 21 years old. Let me take a look at that. Okay, this guy wants to collab on a podcast on TikTok. I don't know. We're not going to do that, and then we don't have time for that. We just talking about the trades, my man. So Missi's contract is $3.9 million average annual value. Not so sure if Dadier alone and some second-round picks is going to be able to get it done. Well, could you do that with the Washington second-round pick? Not so sure. Let's take a look around. Salute to everybody in the chat. Call me up in the KFTV Discord. Action-packed day. Never a dull moment in the Knicks verse. Alvarado in. Deuce out for now. Tough one. How do you feel? Okay, I'm seeing a report. Bulls want Yves Missi. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one to get, man. That Yves Missi gonna be a tough one, but we'll see. And the trade deadline coming up at 3:00. Me and Ian Begley will be live at 2:45 right here on KnicksFanTV, as well as SNY on a simulcast. So shout out to Ian. Rico Solomon, salute to you, Rico. And we got your merch in the mail. We got your merch out to the mail, Rico, so you should be getting yours by early next week. Shout out to Rico. 2,800 people on the check-in. Throw your cities, throw your country, your flag in the chat. Let me know where you guys are checking in from, man. We'll shout you guys out. Yeah, the Alvarado thing, you could see it coming. You know, it was so interesting. When they made the Yabusele deal for Dalen Terry, and I made the video, I put it out. You know, you get those like, you don't know ball people. Oh man, they kill me. You don't know ball. You don't know ball. You know, those casuals, the people that call out the casuals. So I had some slicks there in the comments talk about, do your homework. Dalen Terry, he's gonna be this, that, and the third. He's a baller. And I just threw some crying, laughing emojis. Like, my man, he's not even going to put on a Knicks uniform, much less get a minute of playing time. Knock it off with the you don't know ball talk. My man was averaging 3 points per game on a rebuilding Chicago Bulls team and couldn't get no minutes. Now, he's 23 years old. He can always get his career back on track, but let's knock it off like the Knicks got the next, Penny Hardaway or something. Knock it off. He can always come back to the once a Knick, always a Knick barbecue. You see the T-shirt? You see who they brought back the other night? Hey, maybe Dalen Terry shows up next year. With Frederick Weiss. He's in the back row with Frederick Weiss and Michael Sweetney and them. All right? You'll see him at the once a Knick, always a Knick barbecue. Well, let's knock it off with I know all this and you don't. Relax. He's going to New Orleans. They can rebuild with Zion and them. Go to the strip club. Go to Bourbon Street. All right, we got Alvarado home. Let's be serious. Dalen Terry was Brock Aller did that Dalen Terry deal on his calculator. And they didn't watch film. They did it on the calculator. They crunched the numbers and said, let's go get him. But in all seriousness, though, I was thinking that they might have to attach a pick with Yabusele because of the additional player option that he had on his deal. So the fact that they were able to get him to the Bulls, get Terry, that was a win because now you go send Terry to the Pelicans with 2 second-round picks. You got 7 second-round picks left. So we'll see if they can do anything else at that time. You had other trades breaking last night. You had Kuminga for Porzingis. And I put this out there by Twitter. So This morning, I'm breaking down the trades. I'm breaking down the trades to my son. He's 7 years old, but he's like a hardcore basketball head right now. And I go, yeah, Porzingis got traded. He goes, again? He goes, he just got traded. I said, yeah, man, Porzingis, you better go rent some Airbnbs or something. Don't settle in no house, Porzingis. Just keep the house in Latvia. Because they got Porzingis going here, there, and everywhere. It's a tough business. I remember when we interviewed Langston Galloway a couple years back during the pandemic, And he was telling us a story about how the summer when he signed with the Pelicans, the same Pelicans, his hometown team, Langston Galloway going home, going back to New Orleans. And you know the business, they probably wooing him. Hey, welcome home, kid. You're going to be great here. By February, they sent his ass to the wall, a.k.a. the Sacramento Kings. It's a brutal business. By February, his ass was out there in Sacramento. And that was before they was lighting up the beam. They were terrible. It changes that fast, man. Brutal. But yeah, little man, literally, his reaction, he said, Porzingis got traded again. I say, yeah, man, you know, that's just how it be in the industry, man. Yeah. Cold business, boy. I'm glad I'm just here talking about it in the confines of the crib, in the studio. Shout out to Bear Geek 21 Fanchise channel member. Welcome. All my Boricuas in the chat. Salute to you guys, man. I know this is a happy day for you guys, so congratulations, man. You get your hometown kid home, your countryman home. I'm sure that's a beautiful thing. All right, keeping it going through the super chats, watching the time. It's 1:51 now, so we'll chill for another 10-15 minutes. Shout out, I got Janelle Torre checking in. Will Hooper says, now we need to trade Dottier for Justin Champagnie. I think that'll be a little bit harder. It seems like the Wizards really value Champagnie. So I think that will be harder. You know, Dottier's like, again, hate to put somebody in a bad light, but Dottier's he's just useless, man. He's just useless. So you'd be lucky. You now that you would have to put some draft capital on top of. Angel and Marie, yeah, I like to trade. Like you're literally starting from the bottom here, and you got something that can help. In one game, Alvarado will give you more than Yabusele gave you in half a season. So it's an easy win. Easy win. So, yeah, I'm happy about it, man. I'm definitely happy about it. So salute to our guy, Gershon Yabusele, and good luck to him. I told you guys about the fact that he was in the KFTV comment section last night talking about, you know, he didn't like how the Knicks were using him. He thought he was agreeing with the comment that said that basically the Knicks and Mike Brown's system, they weren't using him right. And he agreed with it. But look, it was a hard time for him. I wish him well. I wish him a lot of luck. I know the fans were down on him like he's out of shape. And, you know, they kind of clowning him about his weight and everything. But I thought he handled everything pretty professionally. And so I got to give him a lot of grace and credit for that. I thought the fans kind of came down on him kind of hard. But, you know, that's how it is, man. Expectations are high here. So there we go. Eddie Suarez in the chat says we traded too much for too little. Another guard. I mean, if you value 2 second-round picks like that, I guess. But I don't really care about that. Knicks are trying to win a championship. We're not worried about second-round picks. You can always get those anytime. I mean, brother, we got a first-round pick in the summer. We got the Wizards pick, which is a high second. They got a ton. They got 7 second-round picks. Get them out of here, man. They're not all going to make the team. There's no point in hoarding them. Get them up out of there. Pack them up. That's why you make trades. Salute one of our sponsors of today, man. And that is Fabletics. Hey, for some of you guys that are in the gym, you ladies and gents that are going to the gym, if you like me, man, I like to dress fly when I'm in the gym because, hey, if you look good, you feel good, and you work out well, it gets you in a groove. And that's what Fabletics is all about, man. Premium, durable, and quality athletic clothing. Head over to fabletics.com and check out the VIP program because if you sign up, you can get up to 80% off everything site-wide. For example, the average hoodie on Fabletics is $110. You sign up for the VIP program, you get it for $22. If you go to fabletics.com, FABLETICS/KFTV, you just take a quick quiz, and they're going to ask you how you found out about Fabletics. You let them know that KnicksFanTV sent you. Sign up for the VIP program for 80% off your order. So, yeah, shout out to Fabletics, man. Good hoodies. I rock with the long sleeve T-shirts. You know, nice premium quality, stretchable, breathable. You're not sweating it out in there. Shout out to Fabletics for once again sponsoring today's show. Join the VIP program for 80% off. Okay, let's get to the phones. Here we got the people got to say. Let me get Mr. Ed in here. Mr. Ed, I'm going to drop him in there. Mr. Ed, how you feeling, man? Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. How you doing, bro? How you feel about the trade?
Good. I like the move. Alvarado,
Go ahead, Mr. Ed. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I like the move. He seems kind of like a John Starks type for the team.
Yep.
Can bring a lot of energy for them, and even if he's a little undersized, I think he seems like he's a good point of attack defender, and now that we don't have Deuce for the rest of the season, that's going to be pretty important. I like the move. Not too bad, especially to be able to turn Yabusele into some guy I never heard of into Alvarado. I'll gladly take it. So that's good with me.
Yeah, it's good with me, man. I'm good with it, man. Appreciate the call. Good to hear from you, man. Good to hear from you, Mr. Ed. Always a good caller. I'm good with it. I'm definitely good with it. So, B-Ball 360 Academy. There's more to playing basketball than just scoring. Yaba could have been rebounding machine with this size. Your teams can't hit every shot, so crash the boards and you can have a double-double. Well, my guy, listen, man, they got more than enough rebounding on the team. Carl is a dominant rebounder. Mitch is a dominant rebounder. Josh Hart is a dominant rebounder. You got enough, man. You got enough. Yabusele, he wasn't efficient enough in his minutes. It just didn't work out. It's all right. You can go somewhere else and thrive. Miggs in the chat. Salute to Miggs. How you feel? Grand Theft Alvarado. What does he shoot from three? Grown Man Vlog. Right now, if we look at the stats, we take a look at the stats right now for Alvarado this year. 36% from three. About league average. All right? About league average. 36% from three. 7.9 points per game. 3.1 assists in 20 minutes a night. 83% from the charity stripe, only 41% field goal percentage, but hey, just shoot them threes and pass the ball and get us some steals and stuff. Last 5 games, 8-4 against OKC, 11-2 against Memphis, 10-3. Hey, these are backup minutes here, man. These are backup minutes. When you look at cleaning the glass at some of the advanced stats, look, this is where he shines. It's that steal percentage. Rookie year, his steal percentage was a 3.4% in his rookie year. And then it's kind of trickled down a little bit. 2.2, 2.4 has kind of been his average. This year, it's a little bit lower. But I believe you put him out there with this Knicks core that's defending better, I think it'll go up. I think it'll go back up. He'll be able to gamble a little bit more because he'll have some safety and protection depending on the players that you put around him. Like if he's out there playing with OG, he's out there playing with Mitch. And those guys are aggressive and getting after it. I think you'll see Alvarado's steal percentage, his numbers go back up a little bit there. Look at some of the shooting numbers. Not going to wow you a little bit. His rim numbers are good. 68% at the rim. See what his frequency is at that point. He doesn't attack the rim all that much, but shooting 68% at the rim. He shoots at threes. Threes are his game. 68% of his shots are from three. Yeah, 68% of his shots are from three. Another 16% from the mid-range. Another 16% at the rim. 3 and D. There you go. But when he does attack the rim, he does finish fairly well. 68%. So we'll see how it goes there. Overall, his effective field goal percentage is at 54%. Those are good numbers. All right, you guys want to call in on the KFTV Discord? Let me know. Okay, we got some more people in here. I got to get my guy Mike from Michigan in here. We missed Cody last night, so let me get Mike from Michigan to kick us off. Mike, how you feeling? Do we have Mike? Mike from Michigan.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Lunchtime grind. Appreciate you, as always, being there when things break.
Always.
Yeah, man. A couple quick things on the move. I love the move for Alvarado. I think it just highlights for us a couple of things that we just have to salute the front office for, and I'll just rattle them off. Number one, know when to cut your losses. They had, I think, high hopes for Yabusele, getting them in before the coach. They really had visions for him. But you got to know when to cut your losses. Do what you can to get something out of them.
Yeah.
I think the thing I would mention is it also shows that you don't always have to make the home run move. Obviously, we'll see how the season shakes out. Win streak, things are looking better. But from the front office perspective, of course, Giannis is out there. But you don't have to alter the whole shape of your team in order to get where you want to go. So I like the move. It's on the margins, but I think, especially with Deuce being out, he's really feeling the need. And let's go. Now we know what the core is. We can get rid of, all the rumors and whatnot. Let's lock in and get it done. So appreciate you taking the call, and let's go Knicks.
Appreciate you, Mike. Have a good day, man. Be safe on the road. And so, Mike's point is that, number one, with the Knicks, knowing when to cut their losses. One thing with the Knicks, between Brock and Leon, look, man, they are savvy. They have this thing down to the T in terms of what they can do, what they can take on, what they can afford to lose, what they can afford to part with. That is one thing. When Leon brought Brock Aller in here, he knew it. You got to bring in, every CEO, every boss, you got to bring in the people that are smarter than you, man. And with Brock Aller, he's a sharp guy, very savvy with the calculator. I've had a couple of, quick conversations with him when I see him at Summer League. Always very respectful. He's a fan of KFTV. And with the first year, he's like, yo, CP, man, love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. So Brock Aller definitely taps in with the number one show for the fans, by the fans. But yeah, they don't spare a penny when it comes to figuring out these transactions. And as Mike said, they are notorious for doing these deals on the margins. That's where I saw this going. I didn't see a Giannis move. They couldn't afford to make anything else. They are on the margins, and they've been that way for quite some time at the trade deadline. One of their best on the margin moves. Remember when they got Derrick Rose? You remember that? Right? That was I think that was their first one on the margins. I mean, I'm talking about Derrick Rose at that stage of his career. Another big one on the margins was Josh Hart. 2016, they traded Derrick Rose for DSJ and a second-round pick to Detroit. That was one of their first margin deals, probably the first one of their tenure. Then a big one, you could argue the D Rose one was the first one that really helped this franchise become much more competitive. Because I make the argument that D Rose was the best player for them in the playoffs in that 21 season when they lost to the Hawks. The Josh Hart one, another pivotal margin move for the Knicks. Big time in exchange for Cam Reddish. Huge. And now you go out there, you turn Yabusele into Jose Alvarado. So that's the Knicks' MO, man. That's how the Knicks get down at the trade deadline. And then on the Giannis front, like I said, man, I got Giannis fatigue. However, Sham's out there putting out there, what we pretty much knew, which is that a lot of teams don't think the Bucks are serious about trading Giannis right now. And a lot of the speculation is that he's staying put for the season, and they may even decide to shut him down and get their tank accelerated. So that's a win for the Knicks. That is a win. If you guys are still in it to go get Giannis, that's a huge win for the Knicks because look, they're still going to load up. They're going to tool up and try to win this thing, which I think they have a legitimate shot at still. And then if it don't work, you revisit the Giannis sweepstakes in the summer when you have the 2033 draft pick opening up, eligible to trade. You can make the draft pick in 2026. You can trade that if you wish. And so I think that Giannis staying put, the Knicks are back in the race. Knicks are back in the race. So what was the Bucks? Did they not like the offers? It would made sense for the Bucks to just wait until the summer anyway, because the offers were going to be better. Miami's offer, in terms of the overall framework and structure, is not going to change that much. Golden State, not going to change that much. Well, now that they dealt Kuminga, it could change a little bit because now you got to deal with the Butler deal. But other teams are going to be able to jump in the race. So it made more sense for the Bucks to hold off. But I'm wondering, is their decision based on the fact that Giannis is still calling it behind the scenes and saying, I want to wait. I want to wait. Because a Mark Stein report came out saying, hey, the Bucks are intending to send Giannis where he wants to go. Does it mean the Knicks? I don't know. But I'll wait until the summer. I want to enjoy what this Knicks team is doing right now. We locking in 8-game winning streak. Big weekend ahead against the Detroit Pistons and the Boston Celtics. Knicks should be out for revenge. I'm in it for the ride, man. Well, I'll let the Giannis thing take care of itself. We'll jump into the sweepstakes again in the summer. I got Giannis fatigue. Right now I'm rocking with Brunson, with Big Country, Mitchell Robinson, and the gang, and the dog OG. You know those are my three guys. That's who I'm rocking with. And my guy Josh Hart. So yeah, we'll let the Giannis thing take care of itself when the time comes. But for right now, I'm locking in with what these New York Knicks are doing right now. And as we talk about the Alvarado acquisition, and we talk about the loss of Deuce McBride, boy, oh boy. I mean, Landry Shamet, let's talk about it. Because what this guy's bringing for this team right now, it allows the Knicks to maintain their position without Deuce here. He's one of the hottest three-point shooters in the league. Top 10 in three-point percentage. Playing with great energy on both sides of the ball. Got to be thankful for what Landry Shamet is bringing to this team. Got to be thankful for what Landry Shamet is bringing to this team. You know, the Knicks, this ain't like last year, but the Knicks didn't have to deal with all these injuries. Yeah, you had the Brunson injury, was a big injury that came in March. You lost OG for like a couple of games with the foot injury that looked a little scarier than it was. But after that, they really didn't have to deal with this. They didn't have Mitch until late. But they were able to maintain. But this, I mean, you started the season with no Mitch. Deuce has been in and out. You had, I think, did OG miss some games? I got to go back and check because he's been so great. You know, the Mitch not playing on the second nights of back-to-backs. So guys have been in and out. Jalen with his sprained ankles. Hart with sprained ankles. So this. I feel like this is more in line with what you can expect from an NBA team in terms of dealing with injuries. I think this is more. Last year was more of an aberration. I think this is more what you can become used to. $5 super chat. Cool. Kyle says Leon already knew about Deuce surgery, but had to keep it quiet so that the price of Alvarado did not go up. Slick. And salute to Leon for getting it done, man. Welcome to the Fanchise channel members. Bear Geek, we see you. $10 super chat from Arlen Pulashi. $10 super chat says, after the deadline is all focused on the playoffs, I'm predicting an Eastern Conference Finals matchup with Detroit. How can the team get more gritty to overcome Detroit as a whole? Hey, 12, 13, 14 guys they got right now just got to man up. And they will. This Knicks team has shown that they will rise to the occasion when they have to. They're showing you right now as a potential top 10 defense. They will get physical. They will get gritty when they need to. Right now, I think they kind of, unfortunately, some people don't enjoy that. I think they kind of coasting, easing themselves into what will be a dogfight eventually. Which, when you look at the injuries that they are sustaining right now, it's not a bad approach. Authorize on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic. Authorize.
Yo.
How you doing, man? What's your name? Where you calling in from?
My name's Authorize, calling in from the Bronx.
BX.
Working in Midtown right now.
Oh, you work? You sound like you got your library voice on. You at the office? You in the office?
Yeah, it's an office day. I'm on lunch, so.
Nice.
Yep. But yeah, man, I'm excited for the Jose trade. I think that he's a good pickup offensively.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about what it's gonna do for Kolek's development. Whose minutes he's gonna take, and I know that he has to fill, Deuce's role, because now that we don't have Deuce probably for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I think, having two undersized guards out there that, Jose's obviously a better defender than Kolek, in my opinion. But, us missing Deuce, that physicality, and the size, I think it might hurt us long term.
Yeah.
So I'm, prayers up to Deuce. Hope he recovers soon.
Sure.
But, I think it's a good pickup for us offensively. I think it's going to take a load off of Brunson. And Jose's good in the passing lane. So I definitely think that this was a masterclass to get rid of Yabu from the front office. And, we don't put ourselves into debt and blow up the whole team going to get Giannis.
That's right.
So,
that's right. Yeah. I mean, listen, like I said in the middle of the show, it's a hard business, and every team's goal is to continue to get better, and that comes at the expense of certain players. There's opportunity costs. When you bring a guy in, it impacts another guy. It impacts his playing time. It impacts his potential to earn. It's that type of deal. And so for Tyler, I wouldn't count him out. I wouldn't write him off because, number one, injuries happen. Number two, let's see how Mike Brown deals with this rotation and how he gets guys in and out of there. And, hey, like I said, if Alvarado's better, we're trying to win, man. We're trying to win a championship.
Exactly.
Tyler, look, he's
Appreciate
young,
you
man.
having me.
Appreciate it, man. Enjoy work, man. With Kolek, look, he's in his second year. He's in his second year. So he's got plenty of time to continue his career and continue to get better.
Yeah, I like Kolek.
Yeah.
I was at the game last night. I think the Garden likes Kolek too.
Nice. Nice. All right, man.
Yeah,
Stay up.
It was
man.
a great win.
Stay up, man.
You too, stay up.
Boss man, come in and check on you, man. You got to get back to it. Get to the Grizzly.
It's lunchtime. Appreciate it, CP. Have a good one.
Stay up, man. Good to hear from you. All right, that's Authorized on the Discord. If you guys are out on the lunchtime grind right now, throw a hashtag grind on the chat. Let me know what you guys are on the grind, man. Let me know you guys are on the grind. Hey, make sure you guys are grabbing your merch as well, man. You want Nick, always Nick tees. We got the KFTV snaps. Your rally towels come playoff time. You're going to need these for the watch parties, man. You're going to need your rally towels all at KnicksFanTV.com. 20% off site-wide as we kick off the trade deadline, man. 20% off site-wide at KnicksFanTV.com. No code needed. Just load up your cart, and we do free shipping on all orders, $75 or more. So very easy. We got a ton of good stuff for you in the shop. Hoodies, hats, tees. You know the deal. You know the vibes. Okay, let me take one more call, and then I'm gonna take a quick break, and then come back with our trade deadline show with my guy Ian Begley. I ain't even ordered lunch, man. I'm gonna be starving by the time I'm done with this. Okay, let's get to Cody. Cody, go ahead and close us out.
Closing you out. What's good, CP?
Good, man.
I love the move, man.
Okay.
Leon, the beast at the deadline, man. Every year he got it done at the deadline. A small but major move.
Yeah. I like it.
In Milwaukee, I think they dropped the ball. I disagree with you. I think they're gonna get less in the summer. The time was now. He's gonna even have 1 year left. It's gonna be like a Kawhi deal, a swap for a swap, and maybe a pick or one player added to it. I think he get more control in the summer because he could easily say, "I'm not going anywhere."
Well, that could, maybe that was the case now, which is why they didn't pull the trigger on something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I personally think that's what happened. I think he looked at it like, I'm not going to Miami. I'm not going to Minnesota. I want New York, and that's it. And they didn't want to pull a trigger on what we had. So he's like, all right, we're going to wait. Because you see it out of nowhere, they came with a report like, oh, Giannis says he still wants to stay in Milwaukee. After he's the one who asked for the trade. Like,
that's cap.
So
I don't believe that.
I think the writing's on the wall. We get them in the summer, and it costs us less.
Okay. I appreciate the call, man. I'm sure we'll hear from you Friday night, man. Knicks versus Pistons, man. Friday night Knicks.
Yeah, I'm calling in. ICP.
Tap in. Cody, good to hear from you, man. Great show. Everybody, shout out to everybody who tapped in on the Super Chats. As I said, I'm just taking a quick break. Regroup, recharge. You got to charge the battery, charge the phone, charge the computer. I got to recharge my brain because I've been talking Knicks for the last 24 hours straight. So I'm going to just recharge real quick. Come back on KFTV. There's another link. Let me drop that new link in the chat for you guys right now on the YouTube side. I'll drop it on the Facebook side as well. This is going to be the simulcast link for the show with myself and Ian Begley. So let me go ahead and drop that in the chat so you guys have it. And then you guys come right over there, man. Just come right over, leave it on chill, and come back in 30 minutes. I'm going to leave it in the Facebook chat as well. Boom, there you go. Come back in 30 minutes, and we'll get it cracking. Okay? What other order of business do I guys want to tell you about? Friday, man, if you guys are in the New York City tri-state area, the Knicks versus Pistons watch party, Clinton Hall 36. If you guys have not come out for a KnicksFanTV watch party experience, you are missing out. We got everything you need. Live game audio, DJ during the commercials by DJ Eric L. Beats, rally towels, giveaways, prizes, great food. Bring the family, bring the wife, bring the kids, bring the dog. It's all free. Go to KnicksFanTV.com to get your tickets and RSVP, man. All we need is your RSVP, and it's free to get in and come through. Come watch the game with the screens all over the place, and it's just always a good vibe and always a good time, all right? So there we go, man. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us. And I'll see you guys in 30 minutes, man. Peace. TikTok, we out of here. Peace. Uh-oh. Clippers trading Ivica Zubac. Zubac just got traded. Okay, where'd he go? He goes to the Pacers. Okay, that's my reaction. He goes to the Pacers. All right, good luck to him. We out of here, man. Peace.